President, help us understand, because yes, the public participation is going on. Quite a bit of views have been given, but also we have witnessed this before, that eventually you'll be heard, it will be documented in reports, but not necessarily the decision that will be taken, that it will be reflecting what you may have said. What should Kenyans be looking forward to this time?
First, let's talk even about the public participation.
Yeah.
My concern is that the finance bill is quite technical.
Yeah.
And the reality is that most Kenyans will not understand the impact or the import of what these new taxes mean. And so the reality is, if there is no even proper civic education to help them understand what is the impact that these taxes will bring upon them, then there is no that clear understanding about the cost of how it will change the cost of living, how changes in VAT or what minimum tax means, especially top-up tax, how changes in, you'd see like even the motor vehicle tax that they're coming up with, how will it affect a larger majority, particularly public transport? What does that mean for them? Because when you think that it's only for those who are driving cars, you don't realize when you break it down that it will also affect you who may be boarding motor vehicles, cost of insurance and things like that. Mm-hmm. And so I say that the reality, as much as they're saying they are collecting views, they're collecting whose views? And it's normally easy. I think we need to start scrutinizing what is public participation and what is the threshold. And I think the challenge that we should start giving to our courts is that courts should scrutinize public participation, because it's easy to create a baraza and plant in a few of your people and give them the mic and say, you've talked. We held a public participation, let's say in Bahati area, and these are the views. I think courts should start holding a bit of higher scrutiny, because when you look at some of these bills and what will be the impact to the economy, if just the last Finance Act and now we're having this new one that is heavier than before, that's the challenge that we have. And the reality is most of these views are picked and packed, and we see Parliament, and I look at my two parliamentarians sitting here, the higher onus is upon them, that I am a bit critical to our members in Parliament, because you're the ones who are supposed to protect the people of Kenya. But what we see is a voting bloc, just like a foray, like a hedonism, that the government wants this to go through and they go through. People forget that you don't sit on those positions just as a government, Kenya Kwanza or ODM representative. You're sitting there as a representative of the people of Kenya. And we hope this time you'll not give us sad rhetoric that the bill is so thick. If members of the public are expected to participate and read and understand, we place a greater onus upon you. LSK gave its views on certain areas that we feel will be negative to the members of the public, particularly even on proposals to access our data with the guise that KRA needs to have information for disclosure. And I hope that even with the kind of public participation or the kind of views, they actually take time and read those views and look at the greater impact. I always go back to what Honorable Lorengo once said: government eats its own people. Today you're sitting in Parliament and you feel comfortable. Tomorrow you'll not be in Parliament. So as you view certain changes that are coming up, and even the budget that will be coming up, look at the people of Kenya. It's high time that even as we call for this national unity, we look at the cost of living. We listen to the cries of the people of Kenya. When the cost of oil goes up, the cost of transport goes up, it will affect every single person. There's no Kenya Kwanza there's no Kenya Kwanza home. There's no ODM home. There's no Wiper home. There's only the people of Kenya. And so this finance bill is going to impact, if we even go down to the various sections of the finance bill or the areas that we have raised. I think the higher onus right now is on our members of Parliament to ensure that they look at these views critically and try and look at some of the concerns that have been raised in the proposals.